Welcome to Kasa, this rainy Friday from the city of Lagos, Nigeria. Are Nigerian artists allowing fame affect their performance? Well, Chris Brown weighs in on Brittney Griner's arrest, and would you allow your in-law meddle in your cooking? All this on H today. Now, let's quickly go for a break, and we'll be back on Kasa. Stay tuned. Welcome back. On today's edition of Kasa, you're not just having Bob, which is me, Bolanle, Oluchi, Babalola, here on Kasa. I have, they say, blessed are thee in the midst of all men. That is me. Yes, today I have men in the house. Of course, my colleague, JJ.
Hey, how you doing? You look dazzling.
As always, darling. And you look good. What's the color code? What are we
it's a bright and not a sunny day, but quite bright. So
it's a rainy day.
Yeah, it's bright. Still bright.
Okay, and then we have our guest, the English guy in the studio. Trust Roy, our producer in-house. How's you? Good to see you today.
I'm good. You look snatched.
Oh, thank you. It's not easy. Anyway, so let's quickly run down to what we have for you. Kasa will bring you all the pop culture and gist that have been trending through the week. Now, Portugal was on fire over the weekend as Afrobeat stars graced the stage of Afro Nation. The annual 3-day music festival was a lot of fun for thousands of attendees. However, some expressed their disappointment in day one, largely due to bad sound and some of the artists not being able to make it. Here's a video of a lady who spoke out.
My honest opinion about Afro Nation day one. I just woke up. This is my first thought. Beautiful place, amazing energy, but my biggest criticism of this festival so far is my beautiful West African artists, the people that I saw yesterday especially Omale, partly Raymond. Why are you not singing? We came to see you live. You're a vocalist. Your main instrument is your voice. We pulled up all the way to Portugal to hear that voice live because we love what your song sounds like on recording. Now we want to hear you do it live and see the thing. As a vocalist, your main instrument is your voice. And I'm not trying to say that it's super easy to do it and that you can't have any backing at all. But honestly, if your song is playing on Spotify in the background and you're making the audience sing and
Now, I like the fact that she was vocal about it. She didn't cut anybody slack for that. And then later she was like, oh, did I just say that? Yes, she did. And then you had series of reactions going on. Twitter went crazy after that. Now, the question is, who is to blame here? Several Nigerians have reacted to this video, with some fans criticizing Omale and Rema's performance. Nigerian artist and Mervyn Records signee Rema replied to this, and he had this to say. Whoever came for Afro Nation Day One knew the sound was bad. Now, he highlighted the mic, that the monitors weren't functioning well, he wasn't hearing, and then the sound was bad. You keep tracks of the audio. The audience wasn't receiving clear signals. I think he wasn't getting clear signals. He wasn't getting proper sound that the audience was listening to because they used that as feedback. And then there was a whole lot of other things. And then at the point, he said he even had to take himself out of the live sessions to sing on his own, improvised and all that. Now, a lot has been going on. To get a good performance, it takes a lot. Going from sound to the stage manager, to lighting, to planning, and then the artist himself has his own responsibility. Now, let me start with you, Trust. Who is to blame?
So first of all, I appreciate her objective criticism. It made sense that she identified the problem, and then also said that she knows that most of these artists, they need help sometimes. You need backing tracks and all that. Who is to blame? I might not exactly want to point fingers at the artists for this instance, because obviously they were supposed to have had sound checks, and at least I think Rema said they had sound checks and all. So I think the sound engineers had a major fault to playing this. I heard Wizkid's version of one of his songs and it was terrible. It was terrible. That is not Wizkid's fault. It's obviously from the sound engineering. But I still understand when people say Nigerian artists don't sing their song. We'll get to that.
I like to say that as an MC, before I come for your event, I always come behind the stage, check my sound, check the mic. I'm there hours before time. That should happen. As a matter of fact, while a show promoter is contracting you for an event, you should also stipulate your terms and conditions, including the fact that you have to do the proper sound check. It is very important. However, when things go wrong, now you should lean on your innate skills, and your voice has to project. Listen to the likes of Burna Boys. Listen to Rude Boy of P Square, even P Square, Two-Face DB, a whole lot of them, the females too, all the female artists. These persons they are skilled in singing. Now, our artists always lean back too much on the producers, which is so bad.
I had a conversation sometime with somebody, and it was like, what were you expecting? I mean, they say it's Afro beats. It's the beats that is the source of the music.
That's too much sarcasm in there for that person. But the truth is, they get to sing, they get to write the song, follow the rhythm of the song, and then before the producer does his own job, even if most times they have to produce the beats, then they now write according to it. And I've witnessed situations where they just listen to the beat and they come up with stuff on their head, and then they're recording immediately. Most times here in Lagos, that's what I see most artists doing. They listen to the beat and then they go to the studio and then they follow the beats to record. So now, if you're doing that, why can't you go on stage and give us the same performance you give indoors?
So let's just identify that in this scenario, there was bad sound. Bad sound happened.
Yeah.
As JJ said, it takes a skilled performer, a skilled artist to be able to maneuver whatever circumstances must have happened there. I watched a Burna Boy's performance one time. The sound wasn't bad, but he was singing and he was clapping and asking people to clap. I've seen Michael Jackson's performance as well.
So
he
do you
ask
think
people to clap and then they'll vocalize as well?
So do you think they should come on stage with their live band going forward?
It's not about live band. It's not about that. It's just about you knowing. See, it's not karaoke. Okay. If you don't know it, if you don't have that voice texture, that tone, you can't deliver.
But I must give it to some of our, the new Gen Zs and millennials in music, like really Fireboy, CK. They're actually good vocalists. They sing properly. They sing. I attended
Once
the Magic
you start
concert,
talking karaoke and being good vocalists, Trust and JJ will not live here. So we're moving on. We haven't even finished talking about the drama in Afro Nation. Our darling Kiss Daniel is also in the news this time with his performance last night in US. A Twitter user identified as Yinka took to Twitter expressing her displeasure about Kiss Daniel's concert last night. Apparently, the singer showed up 3 hours late for a concert meant to start around 8 p.m. and he came in by 11 p.m., performed for just 30 minutes and zoomed off. Now here's a video of the crowd's reaction.
Hold on, 511. Can't stop. What do I be not 511? Stay on my knees now. Not enough. Not enough. Thank you. Hold on, listen.
Now, first of all, before we start throwing shots, 3 hours and then you came and performed for 30 minutes. If not me too, you'll refund my money. I'm sorry. I will throw tantrum, but did
this simply reminds me of the likes of Terry G, who always did so, way back, they could miss shows. Being a recording artist, being an artist with massive hits, is totally different from stage performance. You don't take those fans for granted. Those fans are very sensitive. They must have perhaps saved money ahead of a concert. And they come there, spend a lot of money, absolutely. And then they come there and you disappoint them. See, it is so insensitive of an artist, no matter who you are. You can't even be a Burna Boy and behave that way. It is indiscipline in the highest level.
In music business, there are 4 major ways you make money. Either in the recording department, as a publisher in the publishing department, the live industry, or the interactive industry, which involves social media and live streaming on gaming platforms and such. Among all those 4 departments in the music industry, the live industry turns out the most revenue. So you don't want to joke with that industry. You don't want to joke with those people.
And you are the face and the voice they identify.
And this is even really sad because Kiss Daniel is someone that just came out of a blacklist, industry blacklist. His songs were not being aired on the radio for the longest time. Kiss Daniel was that person that people were blacklisting that, okay, he had bad attitude and stuff. And Booga gave him the biggest hit. And now you're out You know, you're in the public eye.
Trust.
And you have a concert in the US and
Trust.
you do this.
You know what? Keith Daniel absolutely is one of the most talented
Very
artists
talented.
in
I agree.
Africa.
I agree.
And the
Very
truth is,
talented.
between last year and this year, he's been bringing out different songs that have been topping the charts.
Go listen to
back
all his
back.
albums.
Yes.
There's simply no song that you can isolate. All of them are virtually hits. Fantastic songs.
There's
However,
Barnabas, there's Bad, there's O'Shea. And
I
then-
keep saying this. Going on stage, going live is the only opportunity you have to connect with your
your
fans.
fans.
Basically. So you need to have a proper array. Michael Jackson, like you mentioned, had hours and days and weeks of preparations to just one concert. It should be a lifestyle.
Okay, talking about making it your lifestyle to bring out the ace performance that your fans came to watch. So please, we need to sit up. But anyway, we'll come back. When we get back, I'm bringing you details. We're diverting a little bit to the international scene with something different. Let's quickly go for a break. Welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned to Kasa. Now, American celebrities have joined the Free Brittney Griner movement, demanding her release from detention in Russia. It's no news that Brittney Griner has been in Russia for about between February till date. She was found and arrested with certain things that is against the law in Russia. Chris Brown, Kim K, LeBron James, and her fellow athletes have been very vocal about it and the inhumane treatment being given to her in prison. Now, American WNBA star Brittney Griner pleaded guilty to carrying cannabis oil on the second day of the trial in Moscow that could see her sentenced to about 10 years in prison. Here's what we know about Brittney Griner. Griner is one of the 11 women to receive an Olympic gold medal, an NCAA championship, a FIBA World Cup gold medal, and a WNBA championship. On February 17, 2022, Griner was detained by Russian customs after cartridges containing hash oil had been found in her luggage. She had been entering Russia to play the Russian Premier League during the WNBA off-season. According to Griner claims that she packed in a hurry and was ignorant of the fact that she was carrying it. Her trial began July 1st and she has pleaded guilty to charges. According to her representative, she quoted in a letter written to President Joe Biden saying, "As I sit here in a Russian prison alone with my thoughts and without the protection of my wife, family, friends, Olympic jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever." Her wife also had this to say in response to the letter in a recent interview.
To walk the fine line of, harm versus help when it comes to my wife right now. So as much as I want to, advocate for her and push for, our government to do everything, I also have to take into account that she's in a position where she could be harmed also by any and everything I do. And so it's a thin line to walk. And initially, I was told, just we're going to try and reserve, we're going to try and handle this behind scenes and, let's not raise her value and, stay quiet. And, I did that. And respectfully, we're over 140 days at this point. That does not work. And so I will not be quiet anymore. I will find that balance of, harm versus help in pushing our government to do everything that's possible, because being quiet, they are not moving, they are not doing anything. And so my wife is struggling and we have to help her.
Now, you can see the pain in her eye. Now, the question is, was she ignorant of the fact that what she was doing was illegal? Or as she said, she didn't know she was carrying those in her?
So there are a bunch of countries or plenty countries that you can pack in a hurry when you're going to Nigeria, number one. If you're going to Ghana, you can pack in a hurry. But you're going to Russia and you're packing in a hurry.
Yes, you can't go to Russia in a hurry. Now, the offense for carrying narcotics and other drugs to Russia is clearly stated out. It says non-narcotic substances and drugs such as cannabis are illegal. It's not allowed. However, you can carry it if based on particular standards in a government-approved institution.
Don't even carry.
See, that's how it is everywhere. You know, most places I know, it's right here in Africa too. I mean, if you're not licensed to have those, I mean, if you're not perhaps a pharmaceutical operator, you know, you must have appropriate license to do that, to have those substances in your bag. But you know, I totally disagree with you. You cannot pack in a hurry for any trip.
What's going on?
Not at that status, not at that level. You should check and recheck and cross-check and overcheck your bags. It's not an excuse to move into another terrain without knowing exactly every single detail of things you have in your bag.
What I meant by that is countries like Nigeria, you can easily, there's influence can play, but not Russia.
You can't even do that at the airport.
I mean, this is a country that literally started what the world feared was World War IV a few months ago.
I totally agree.
And you're packing in a hurry.
I like to say, I'm so sorry about that. You know, I sympathize with her. However, telling me that you are perhaps ignorant of the law or by mistake, accidentally did so, it doesn't, come on. Are we talking about Griner? She's a superstar. She's used to this. I mean, she's made international trips. She's been all around the world. Why would such a thing happen to her?
Go back to number one.
And now this is happening at the point when Russia is up against Ukraine. And, you know, the whole world is just all against Russia. How would the U.S. even interfere in such a matter? You know,
when you look at her pedigree, I'm beginning to think this might be a hostage situation that Putin is intentionally keeping her as a hostage. Now, let's just go back to who she is. She's 31, a three-time All-American from Houston who currently plays for the Phoenix Mercury. In 2012, she became the first NCAA basketball player to both score 2,000 points and block 500 shots. She has won 2 Olympic gold medals and she's signed to endorsements from many companies. That alone makes her a high-profile person.
She is high-profile.
Knowing that you're also entering a country that is in a very critical situation, considering the Ukrainian issue going on with Russia, should you jeopardize it?
That's the reason you can't jeopardize your status, every single thing about you. You know, it's so unfortunate that we also see, you know, a lot of these athletes, persons of high profile, always violate these doping rules and regulations. We remember Marion Jones, what happened to her. We also remember Tyson Gay, you know, the likes of these persons. I think the time has come for these guys, these athletes, personalities, celebrities, to start checking themselves. They need to be properly educated and also, you know, put in measures to see that they do not violate these things, because knowing that you have the spotlight on you, it makes you even more prone to...
You know I feel makes our case even harder is, first of all, she's in a minority. Russians, they discriminate against black people. She's openly queer. She literally has a wife. So it's going to be very difficult.
So now you're saying there's a bit of racism attached to it.
Yes.
And then the fact that she's American, and Americans are supporting Ukraine in the ongoing
There's
war.
a lot
of persons are questioning why she first, you know, pleaded innocent, and right now she's pleading guilty. What I think is, if she doesn't plead guilty, then you can't even have any platform to even have a talk for, say, a swap.
Defense. Now, she's looking at possible 10 years. Looking at her age and where she is currently in WNBA, 10 years is a very long time.
She's going to be 41.
Yes, and it's President Joe Biden responded saying that they are working on it and will try and get her out of there as soon as possible.
I hope so.
I find it really hard because she's not the first person that's in Russian custody. There's a journalist that was arrested in 2015. I think his name is Chris Wellesh or something. He's been there.
Trust, that's why I said I hope so.
I just wish her well, and I hope she comes out quick, because she's one of the key players in WNBA, and we really love to see her soon. And then, you know, for her to write that letter, it's coming from a desperate place, because it's been 6 months since February 17th. She's been there since February 17th. I can't imagine what she's going through. But anyway, that's that. Now, to the H. This is one of our interesting segments on this show. Now, look at this situation. I'm a lady. I'm in a relationship. And then my mother-in-law to be, let me use that word, has one or two things to say about the meal I prepared. So the question is, we're making the food, and then suddenly she goes, nah, this is not good. I think I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. There's a chat trending on social media about what actually happened between a lady and her boyfriend's mother, where the mother actually had to touch up the food she made a bit. And then in responding to that, her boyfriend was taking sides with his mother. So the question is it okay to let your partner's mom adjust your cooking because she thinks it's not good enough or you are not doing it well?
Well, First of all, I'd like to say thank you to you, Mama. Mama, you've done very well. Thanks for coming. I think at this point, you may need to take the next flight back home.
Disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
Are you going to say disrespectful to your mother or disrespectful to the girl?
Did she have the conversation with me and the girl first before adjusting the cooking she had done?
Okay.
See.
So, it don't be like say the soup sour.
Trust.
And you're trying to adjust it.
Yeah.
She made. See, people are very emotional with their cooking. I cook, so I like to share my food with someone. So imagine I come back and then they tell me somebody has adjusted. Now my mama, but I mean boundaries now. Come on, for real.
I won't talk too much. Mama, I actually wanted to tell you why before coming back. I will need you to leave tomorrow. There's a next flight you have to leave because your jurisdiction does not come into my house.
Yes.
It's not my home.
Can you look at the
100%.
guy's response? He says she's older and more experienced, and she knows what I like or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
inexperience
that
is
she
good
knows
that
what I like more than you
it's
do.
very good
So
that we
marry
are
your
young.
mother now.
Bolanle, we are young. Let us express our inexperience in our marriage, especially when it comes to
In our relationship as well.
We're going to be fine. We're going to be good.
No. I'm not. I feel the girl's pain. Say, what other form of disrespect is higher than that? Adjusting my soup.
No, my mom won't even
There are a
try
lot of
it.
things that are really personal.
So in
to
African
people.
culture-
Clothing, soup. Oh, come on now.
In African culture, we're big on respect and all that. So our culture does not allow you to do certain things. But respectfully, do you think it is right for this girl to actually talk to her mom, seeing her boyfriend's reaction? What do you think she should do? What's the next
Well,
thing? She should address
it's
it?
interesting that she had actually spoken with the guy. It would have been somehow if she had addressed the mother straight up, say, Mama, yo, what's up? Why did you do this? But she accorded him the respect, accorded her the respect of talking to the son. So if the son is wise, if he has sense, all he would do now is to address the mom and say, yo, mom, see, my baby is not exactly like this thing. Or next time, maybe have a conversation with her first. It's all about communication.
Yeah.
True.
Last, give the woman money to go and prepare another soup. Some things are too personal for you to.
This actually happened in my own house. That someone who I adore so much came to my house and said, "Hey, you guys were squandering a lot of things, a lot of food and all that." And I told the person that, see, when I grew up in your own house, this was exactly what was happening. So why do you now have a problem with it? You say, "Oh, the economy." No. It's not about the economy. I provide the money, right? Okay, so let it be. Allow the young folks enjoy themselves, but you don't bring your rules and regulations to my house because it's my house. So I need to build my house the way it is. That doesn't mean I cannot get advice from you. However, there are boundaries to this. And respect.
Why are you advising somebody on soup?
It's the boundaries I'm talking about. Where do you draw the boundaries with them, and who is to address it here?
So
man or the
there
woman?
are some houses where this kind of things will not be a problem. I know a house where, as a guest, if you come, say you want
You go to the kitchen.
you go to the kitchen, go and get your food.
Like my house.
Nobody will answer you.
Exactly.
So there are some houses where this might fly, but apparently the girl doesn't like this, and that is where the problem is coming from. Maybe the guy in their house, and so they're all reckless.
And maybe now mommy picking.
So, there you have it. Different strokes for different folks. You know what your girlfriend likes. You know what your wife likes. You know what your husband likes. So please, let's respect each other. Respectfully speaking, mommy has her own husband. The son is husband to somebody else. So please, we're not saying let's respect each other. Yeah, that's all we have for you on today's edition of Pop Kasa. Thank you, JJ, for coming to the studio
Thanks for
today.
hosting me.
And as usual, you gave them hot. Trust Troy. He says it's not Trust Troy, it's Trust Troy.
Yeah.
Thank you
Trust
for
Troy. Elegant.
I like to say this. The only challenge I have, sitting next to this man is that he's been looking down on me. Like, I'm a short man.
Wow.
I'm not short.
Wow.
Don't look down on me.
Life is not fair. It's the high difference. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Pop Kasa. Make sure you have a wonderful weekend. It's been a long week, so take time out, relax, have fun, and breathe. Until next time, I am Bolanle Oluchi Babalola.